name would have been Sid.
The thing is, these are kind of cliches, though. I mean, you have your spoiled princess, you have your nerdy inventor girl, you have the goofy robot.
Well, she was a spoiled princess, but she was not like prissy. She was like a tomboy.
Well, she was the tomboy princess. Although that wasn't.
That's also kind of.
She's probably the most cliched character in the game, aside from maybe Frog.
Not the mute hero.
The thing is, laconic heroes weren't really that common back then. That's more of something you've seen in recent years.
Plus, he dies later.
Spoilers.
Yeah, Christ figures.
That's nothing new.
He's basically the predecessor of Gordon Freeman.
Yeah.
Doesn't talk, dies halfway through.
Plus Jesus talked a lot, actually. There's a whole fucking bit of it.
Yeah, it's all in red print, so you can tell.
Anyway, my point was that they're cliche characters, but they're taken to ridiculous extremes. And I think that's what actually makes them kind of interesting and fun. I don't know. I think parody can make you feel more than something ham-fisted anyway. I think Shaun of the Dead creeped me out more than any zombie movie I've seen in years, and it was just because these guys made me laugh. I give a shit. It was the same thing.
Fair enough.
Maybe a bit of a reach there, but...
No, I mean, there were a lot of cliches in the game, but then at the same time, it kind of...
But they're done well.
But there are a lot of reversals,
exactly.
And there are a lot of indulgences.
Well, and being able to recruit Magus as a character was
really awesome.
Yeah, that surprised me at the time. I did not expect to be able to turn him into a party member, and I like the way they handled that too. He couldn't do combos with the main characters without having some sort of device. You have to give up an accessory slot so that you could do combos with him. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of cool too.
Because he didn't really like you all that much, and
he wasn't a team player.
Yeah.
He liked to float around and scowl.
I thought that was so cool that he could float. That was like, everyone else is like walking, and then he would like float behind. That was pretty awesome. There's a lot of cool little awesome things they do like that on the overworld map when you're walking in between the different locations.
How much animation they put into the character is really worth mentioning.
When you first find
even
Robo
on the map.
and you have to like drag him, I thought that was so cool. Like, I'd never seen that before. Maybe
when you look at sprite dumps people have made from this game, that the number of frames for each character for a 16-bit RPG, it's unreal. They animated the shit out of them, and even their map sprites. I mean, like Lucas sitting down and reading a book or something. If you spend too much time there,
right? Or Chrono going, look.
And these are lovingly done pixel by pixel renderings. It was
it's different than 3D animation where you can just do a different animation model.
Granted, there's a lot of work that goes into that too, but this is a very different kind of work.
Right.
And they had tons and just little expressions and reactions, and no, it was remarkable. I've never seen another game like that.
Right, and even the enemies had a lot of personality. I mean, I mentioned the sewers before, but throughout the game, there are a lot of places where you actually interact with the enemies that you're going to fight. Like when you go into the cathedral, there's like the one dude who's asleep, and if you come up behind him and attack, he's like, I'll say this, you know what you're doing. Like, you somehow snuck up on him, and he, was
every encounter is like a little narrative.
Right, exactly.
And if you don't want to fuck with it half the time, you can just walk by him. I like that too. It's just...
Oh, yeah, the fact that you could start talking to somebody and then just walk away.
Yeah, that was nice.
And they'd be like,
that was good.
No, it was like somebody made a list of annoyances in RPGs and just systematically made a very strong point of avoiding them or doing something about them.
Just because they had that freedom of it's a totally different franchise. They don't have to live up to anything.
Right.
Chrono Trigger is also the first game that scared the shit out of me because that one little section where you find like a dude hidden behind some cabinets and he says he's going to turn off your game system.
That one, at the ending there when it turns dark and you're like,
actually got me. Shit. It scared the shit out of me.
How old were you when you were playing this game? Weren't you released in 1995 too?
I loved this game when I was a fetus.
was I? 83. I was born in 83, so I can't do math.
You were 12.
Yeah. I was gullible, you know. No, I mean, what other game was like, oh, I'm gonna shut off your game? Like, no, it didn't
Right.
interact with the player like that. Like, it totally just called, like, broke
Little Hideo up
the
in the
fourth
corner.
wall, and then was
Yep.
like, haha, I'm turning off your game now. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wait, so you played that when you were 12?
Yeah, my memory of it is somewhat vague
I was
because
in
of that.
college.
Shame.
No. I was a
Senior.
junior in college.
Oh.
I might not have played when it right when it came out, so I might have been a little bit older. But
You're very young.
She
I
might have
think
been
it's the
12 and a
point.
half,
And I'm
yeah.
very old.
Ancient.
and yet we both loved it.
Chrono Trigger
Spanning
is
the
the great
ages.
uniter.
Yes.
Spans
Oh,
eras.
get it? Span at the errors. Ha ha ha.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, actually, that was another thing that Chrono Trigger did really well was the time travel element. Aside from being a kind of clever storytelling gimmick, it was nice that, again, there were little details that if you thought, I wonder if I could get away with this, you'd often